Nature has a powerful effect on the body and mind, especially in a world that constantly keeps us overstimulated and stressed. There's something about being in nature that reminds you what it feels like to breathe again. Not rushed breathing, not distracted breathing, not the kind where your body still feels tense even when you're technically resting. Real breathing. I just spent 5 days in the boundary waters of northern Minnesota, and it reminded me how healing that nature can be. The quiet feels different there. You hear loons calling across the water. You hear the wind moving through the trees. You smell the pine, the water, the campfire, the fresh air. You can hear for miles because there's so little noise competing with it. Even the silence feels calming. It was still a little cold at night, but it was completely worth it. Getting outside, unplugging, and stepping away from constant stimulation changes how you feel physically and mentally. Welcome to the Bloom and Beyond podcast. Today we're talking about how nature has been proven to be healing and why getting outside can make such a powerful difference in how you feel. A lot of people underestimate what constant noise, screens, notifications, and stimulation are doing to the body. Your nervous system was never designed to be on all the time. Most people move from one thing to the next without any real pause. Phone screens, emails, traffic, noise, constant information. Your body stays in a low-level stress response for much of the day, even if you don't realize it. Nature interrupts that. Research has shown that spending time in nature can lower cortisol levels, reduce stress, improve mood, and even help lower blood pressure. Studies have also shown improvements in anxiety, attention, sleep, and overall mental well-being after spending time outdoors. One study found that spending just 20 minutes in nature significantly lowered stress hormone levels. That's important because a lot of people think that they need a complete life overhaul to feel better. Sometimes your body simply needs less stimulation and more connection to the world around you. There's also research showing that time in green spaces is associated with lower rates of chronic disease, including heart disease and high blood pressure. That makes sense when you think about how stress affects the body. Your body responds differently when it feels safe and calm. Nature creates that feeling naturally. One of the biggest things I noticed in the boundary waters was how different my body felt without constant noise. No constant scrolling, no constant notifications, and no pressure to keep up with everything. My nervous system finally had space to settle. That can change how you sleep. It changes how you think. It changes how your body feels. Even physically, you feel different. Fresh air, movement, sunlight, less stimulation, and more presence. All of those things support your body in ways that people often overlook. Nature also slows you down enough to actually notice things again. The sound of the loons across the lake, the smell of the pine trees, the sound of paddles in the water, the quiet. You realize how loud everyday life has become. There's also something powerful about perspective when you're outside like that. You stop focusing on every notification, every task, and every small stressor. Your mind gets a break from constant input, and that mental rest matters. A lot of people think that stress or rest only means sleep. Mental rest matters too. Your brain constantly processing information is exhausting. Nature reduces some of that overload. That's part of why people often say they feel lighter, calmer, or clearer after spending time outside. Getting outdoors does not have to mean a 5-day wilderness trip to experience benefits. A short walk outside helps. Sitting near water helps. Stepping outside without your phone for a few minutes helps. Being around trees, fresh air, natural light, and open space has a measurable effect on the body. Simple exposure to nature can improve mood, lower stress, and help your body regulate more effectively. There's also a difference between being outside and actually being present outside. A lot of people go outside while still mentally carrying everything with them. Nature becomes more healing when you slow down enough to notice it. The sounds, the smells, the air, the quiet, that presence is part of the healing. One thing I kept thinking during those 5 days in northern Minnesota was how different people would feel if they spent more time outside. Not as another thing to accomplish, not as another wellness trend, just as a way to reconnect with themselves again. The body responds to that. The mind responds to that. You start feeling calmer without trying so hard to feel calmer. That matters more than people realize. If you've been feeling overwhelmed, stressed, overstimulated, or mentally exhausted, getting outside may help you more than you think. Not perfectly, not instantly, but consistently. Small moments outside still count. A very short walk, fresh air, morning light, sitting quietly near water. Those things support your body in real ways. Nature's not a cure for everything. It is, however, one of the most overlooked forms of healing that we have. If this episode helped you, take a second, please, to like the video and subscribe so that you don't miss what's coming next. We're going to keep having real conversations about health, stress, healing, and feeling better in ways that actually fit real life.